What's going on, everybody? It's Chris from Out West with Chris, and I'm here today to do a BattlBox unboxing. I just got done doing a really fun live stream. I'm teaming up, doing a little collaboration with Beer, Bourbon, and Bushcraft and Slyfox Tactical, two awesome guys. And we've been working on this collaboration for a while now. And yeah, we're going to be doing live streams couple times a month. I have been drinking just a little bit, which I think is going to be good for this this mission. I will have a link to that live stream, to the channel where those live streams are going to be hosted, in the description below. You should go subscribe to that right after this video. Okay, so now to the task at hand. BattlBox Mission 26. I have opened this up already. I've played with it. I saw the wildly, ridiculously, insanely funny unboxing that BattlBox put out with Curran 1776 in his bathtub. If you missed that, go watch it. That's all I can say. It was pretty darn funny. Before we get into this, I'm going to go on a little rant. So get ready to hit that thumbs down button. I'm sure this is going to get disliked quite a bit, and I understand if you do. If you don't want to listen to my rant, just fast forward. I don't know when it'll end, but I'll put a little graphic right here. Fast forward to this number to skip the rant. All right, so this is Mission 26. It's a Dopp Kit. A Dopp Kit is basically a toiletries kit that you can take with you when you're on traveling, you know, that type of stuff. Hygiene, I don't have to say it too often. I'm not going to say it too much, but hygiene is critical if you're in a survival situation. Not only is good hygiene going to keep you from getting sick and dying, but it's also great for morale. This kit, this theme, has its place in the survival kind of bug out realm. I mean, you got to take care of your hygiene when you're out in that type of long-term survival or even short-term survival situation. You can die from a freaking tooth infection. You can die if you have an abscess in your teeth. It's totally possible. It happens. It happens quite often, actually. People who don't take care of their teeth die because they get infections that they don't go get a root canal to get fixed. With that said, I totally understand why some people are fired up. This box has some items in it that, you know, they're not tactical. And a lot of people signed up for BattlBox expecting tactical gear. I mean, it says so on the box, survival and tactical gear. It says so right there, right? So a lot of you are fired up that you got toiletry items. And I kind of get that. But it does play into the survival aspect of things. So a lot of boxes, well, not a lot. I know of a few boxes that have tried to pull off this Dopp Kit theme before, the main one being Alpha Outpost. If you want to go back, you can look at my videos. I have an Alpha Outpost review of their Dopp Kit. There were a few items in that Dopp Kit that I actually liked. There are items in here that I like. I like most of this box. It is a difficult task to pull off this type of box effectively, in my opinion. And I think of the boxes that I've received that have tried to do it, this one has done it the best. So lately, there's been a lot of heat. I mean, people have been throwing a lot of shade to be, you know, hip. People have been throwing a lot of shade at BattlBox for various reasons, and I don't really get it. People are saying they're not veteran friendly. I guess there was some, you know, kerfluffle on Facebook about some veteran business. I don't know. I don't really know all of the details, and I'm not gonna dive into it. But people that say that BattlBox is not veteran friendly, I don't think they really understand the mission of BattlBox and what BattlBox is all about. They're not a veteran-owned business. Dan has said numerous times when people say, hey, thank you for your service. Or to Curran, thank you for your service. They've come out and said, look, we're not vets. We support veteran causes though. And I don't know why right now BattlBox is getting some heat. You know, they try to work with veteran businesses when there's a veteran business that has awesome gear. They're going to promote them. They're going to push those companies, as is the case in this box. They're going to do what they can to help those companies get access to a larger market. So I'm just going to say this. I have talked to Dan. I've talked to Curran in my live streams. I mean, I text Dan occasionally when I have questions. And BattlBox, you know, they're not veteran owned, but they are highly supportive of veteran businesses. You know, if you've been on the forum very much or you've seen many of their live streams, they are huge members of the Veterans Business Alliance. That's where they've made a lot of their contacts. I mean, you know, they're good friends with the folks over at Black Rifle Coffee Company and, you know, various other veteran-owned businesses. And they do what they can to promote those businesses by including their items in the box, by sharing those companies' posts on Facebook or whatever it might be, by talking about them even. So BattlBox has actually worked it into their mission to spend $2 million or more with veteran-owned business companies over the next 3 years. That's part of their business model, to promote veteran-owned business companies, put their items in this box, help get the word out about who these folks are, and promote them. And I think that that is a good thing. Recently over on the BattlBox forum, you know, Dan posted, hey, who knows a unit that would like 100 of these Mission 26 boxes? You know, he's sending 100 boxes to a deployed unit somewhere. I don't know if they've hammered out what unit's gonna get these boxes, but you know how much this would mean to an 18, 19, 20, 21-year-old kid who's deployed? I mean, this would mean a lot. And I think it's kind of funny that people are bitching about it in a way. I get it. Like I said before, I get it. I get where you guys are coming from. But at the same time, I mean, you're getting your money's worth. And the last thing I'm going to rant about is that this is a mystery box. That's what a subscription box is. The majority of subscription boxes don't tell you a freaking thing before you get them. They don't tell you what the theme's going to be. You know, they don't leak teasers or anything like that. It just so happens that the biggest one on the market, this one, teases what the theme might be. And it's almost kind of fun for those of us who are on the BattlBox forums to kind of like piece together what we think it's going to be. I knew it was this from, you know, pretty quick on. I knew that this was going to be a Dopp Kit. And when I figured out it was going to be a Dopp Kit, I was like, geez, I hope they do this well, because that's tough. But again, this is a mystery subscription service, like most subscription boxes are. You kind of know the idea of it. You're going to get a knife if you're a Pro Plus member, and you're going to get gear that's kind of survival and tactical related. Which kind of goes back to my initial comment of I get where a few of you are frustrated. All right, everybody, I've unboxed the box, and I forgot to mention at the very beginning of the video, so I'm gonna clip this, move it to the front. I didn't pay for this box. When I get a box that I didn't pay for, I tell you guys, I want this to be a full disclosure type of enterprise. You can make your own mind up. I'm sure I'll get comments like, oh yeah, you're bought and paid for, or whatever. Not true. You'll see what I think about this box and future boxes from BattlBox. But like I was saying, I did not pay for this box. You know, without much further ado, it's time for me to just dig into this thing and get started on Mission 26, my thoughts on what's inside. All right, here's your sit rep card. Mission 26, the Dopp Kit. Hygiene essentials. And if you don't think hygiene is important in a survival situation, you're not really thinking it through. Hygiene is critical in a survival situation. For morale, and for disease prevention, for just your overall health. I mean, if you're not brushing your teeth in a survival situation, like I said before in my rant, you could freaking die. It's a fact. All right, so let's start with the basic kit. The cost is $24.99. They say the value is $60.49. The first item, which I have used, it is opened, is the Grenade Soap Co. Remember that name. Badass soap on a rope. Now it doesn't come with a rope, it actually comes with this little, kind of like, I forget what they call this. These are, shit, I forget what they're called. But I actually use key rings like this, I like them. These are my favorite type of key rings. Anyways, it comes with this soap. It's kind of a grenade style. I've used it for a few days now. Smells good. I really like the soap actually. It's soap that costs $8.95. If you've ever bought a designer soap before, that's about how much they cost. This isn't Dial, it's not Irish Spring or anything like that. And I know you can buy Irish Spring, which I buy sometimes, for a lot less, okay? But this is different. I mean, this is a made in the USA product. It's not mass produced or anything like that, and it's kind of cool. It smells great. I like it. Would I go buy it for $9? You know what? I probably would. I actually got some Duke Cannon soap that costs about the same amount in that Alpha Outpost Dopp Kit, and I reordered a few times different Duke Cannon soaps. That's just me though, okay? Do I expect everybody to go out and buy this type of soap going forward? No, I don't. You know what I mean? Like I said before, small batch soaps like these, they do cost that much. That's just how much it costs for a small soap maker to make soap. It's crazy, but that's reality. So it's pretty cool. The little keychain does go through it. One word of caution, if you use this, it will probably cut through the soap. Mine's already kind of wearing through right there. So you might want to take some paracord or other string or something and do more of a soap on the rope type deal. What's cool about doing something like this is that you can hang your soap up. There's nothing worse than leaving your soap kind of in a soap tray or whatever, or on the side of your bathtub in your shower on one of your ledges or anything, and then having them get that weird soapy film, you know what I mean? They're all soft on one side. It's kind of freaking nasty. Anyways, you can hang these up and they'll dry evenly and they'll last a little bit longer too. $8.95, Grenade Soap Co. Gunsmoke Soap. Smells great. Your lady's gonna love it and I like it. I think this is a good item. All right, next up in your basic box is the Grenade Soap Co. Taint Scrubber. Yes, Taint Scrubber. Tactical ass and intense nut technology. It's a tactical loofah. I don't know about these. It's interesting, you know, basically what you do is you put your soap inside of it, lather it up, and then you use this to apply your soap. I'm not a loofah guy. If I was gonna use a loofah or something like that, this would be what I would use. It's got these straps on it so you can put your hands in it and just rub around and, you know, get your taint, get your balls, you know, all that stuff, and get it nice and clean. There are some benefits actually of using something like this. It helps you exfoliate, so if you struggle with like blackheads on your back or crap like that, something like this will actually help. It's not a bad item, it's just not really up my alley. The value on this is $9.95, and I don't really doubt that. I don't. It doesn't seem like it's too high for what it is. It's nice. I think it would be kind of odd to use an item like this in the way that I used it and then give it up as a giveaway item, so I'm not gonna do that. I will keep this, I will use it. As is with the soap, you can hang this so it can dry out, which is a nice feature. Next up is the Camp Pack Towel. And this is actually a pretty cool item from Enrit. Enrit Camp Pack Towel. I'm kind of excited about this. This would be great for camping or backpacking. This would actually be really good for backpacking. It is a towel that is really compressible, and this is a pretty good sized towel. You can use this when you're out camping or backpacking or in a survival bug out situation. Nice feel to it. I got the orange. Different people got different colors. I think there was a green, like an OD green, and then an orange. If you got the orange, you can use this for other purposes such as signaling, that type of thing. So it also comes with a little, kind of a, not really high-tech or nice little carabiner, but a little clip right here. You can clip this to your backpack so that if it's not fully dried out, it can dry out. It has a mesh compartment and it is all one unit. It's all self-contained. You can disconnect it with this little clip right here and then reconnect it. You know, if you wash your face or anything like that when you're out backpacking or camping or hiking, you know, you can easily use it to dry your face off, dry your hands off, clip it back up, and then stow it back into the bag that it came in after it dries, or you can just hang it off of the back of your pack as you're hiking so that it has a chance to dry. Lots of different things you could do with something like this. I like this. This is a nice item. This is a $9 value, and I don't doubt that value at all. Stuff like this that's well thought out is worth the price. Okay, the next one up, I'm not super thrilled with. This is the Grenade Soap Co. Anti-Perspirant. I don't know, the reason why I'm not a super huge fan of this is kind of, I just find it a little gimmicky in a way. What would make this really cool is if they had inserts, like refills that you could use. Personally, that would make this something that would be more valuable to me. As it is, it's kind of a single-use type deal. Once you're done with it, you either display it for some reason or you give it to your kid to play pretend G.I. Joes, you know, or something like that, and that type of thing. But if they had like an insert where you could reinsert a new deodorant cartridge, it would be pretty cool. So basically, to use it, take the cap off. It comes with the little protective seal. I have not used this yet. It actually smells pretty good. And then you can twist the bottom to get it to rise up. Seems like a pretty good amount. I believe there is aluminum. Yeah, aluminum, zirconium, try some word I can't say. It's kind of like a marketing kind of thing, you know, it's interesting, it looks cool, but really, I don't know, I think I'll stick to my Old Spice, if you know what I'm saying. So this is a $7.99 value, $8. I don't know, to each his own, right? I know I've talked to a bunch of people who really like this, who think it's pretty damn cool. To me, it's kind of bulky to go into a bug out bag or some other, you know, survival type bag. Probably one of my least liked items in this box, but that's just me. Okay, moving on, an item that I'm really stoked about that I've never heard of before, and I don't know why. I'm pretty familiar with a lot of items that come from Coleman. These are the camp soap sheets, and they come in a really compact holder. There's 50 little sheets. And, you know, as long as your hands are dry, you can remove those single sheets, get your hands wet, and lather up soap. So you can wash your hands when you're on the go, wash your face. You know, you could potentially use these to clean other items too. Something like this is another item that's going to be great for backpacking, for camping, or for throwing in your bug out bag for those long-term survival situations so that you can keep clean in those situations. Something like this gives you the opportunity to clean your hands in between doing other things and making meals in a long-term survival situation. And that can prevent lots of different sicknesses that you just don't want to get. I like it. This is a big thumbs up for me for a basic box item. Really, really like these. And there's 50 sheets in here. So something like this that costs $3.99, you could go order these, buy these in bulk, and pick up a whole bunch. And they're not going to take up a bunch of space. You know, put these in one of your bug out kits. Put them in your bag, your bug out bag, and you've got a lot of soap to help keep you clean and disease free for a long time in a survival scenario. So next up is the Epic Wipe, and I believe that these are usually sold in 10 packs for about 24 bucks. This is a single issue pack, and it is $2, so $1.99. And what this is, I don't want to open it because I have a purpose that I want to use this for. But what it is a big freaking wet wipe, okay? Huge wet wipe. These things are made with antibacterial essential oils, they're biodegradable materials, and they're toxin free. They're one big ass wipe, okay? Something like this is something I'm gonna take with me hunting. A lot of times when I go hunting, I'm out for about 10 days and I might get the opportunity to take a shower once, maybe, in that 10-day period. So I get raunchy. I mean, there are times when, you know, you're going to change your drawers or whatever, you take your hunting gear off after you're out for the day, and damn, you just about knock yourself out with the stench, you know? So something like this is gonna be awesome for doing a little bit of a wet wipe bath. That's how we clean ourselves when we're out hunting, is we take freaking wet wipes, you know, and that's it. You know, that's basically what we've got. That, or take a bath in the freaking river that's hella cold. Something like this is gonna be awesome for me when I go hunting. If it was scent free, or like a neutralized scent type thing, would be even better for hunting. But still, this is gonna be great for hunting. I don't wanna open it right now just because I will be using it for that purpose. Really cool that these are in there. A product that I did not know about. One thing I really like about BattlBox, they turn me on to products and companies that I have no clue even existed. So this is a big win for me. Another big win for me in the basic box are these. These are the Easy Towels. So these little Easy Towels are just these little tiny pellets, and they're pretty cool. You get 50 of these little Easy Towels in this bag, and once you get them wet, they go from this to this. I mean, these are awesome. You know, it's not a huge towel, but you could definitely use something like this to clean up after, you know, hunting or something like that. You know, get the dirt and the grime off of you. They seem pretty strong. I mean, you could tear them, but that takes some force. Much stronger than like a paper towel or something like that. You can use these in your camp cooking, cleanup, you know, cleaning your pots and pans. Pretty awesome little device, actually. The fact that there's 50 of them in this little bag is super cool. I'm gonna go order 2 or 3, maybe 4 more of these. I like this. This is a big win in my book. These are gonna be great for camping, for elk camp, and I'm gonna throw a few of them into some of my emergency kits. So these towelettes cost $8.63. That's gonna round up your basic box. And despite me not really being a big fan of the deodorant, I think the basic box really did great. You got the big wipes, the soap, the Easy Towels. You got the soap, the taint scrubber, this towel that I'm a big fan of. Oh, and you also get your Ready Man subscription, which you've heard me rant about that enough, so I don't need to do that anymore. You all know where I stand with that. So for $24.99, they're saying a $60.49 value. I'm saying the basic box did pretty damn good this month, in my opinion. Okay, so let's move on to the advanced box. And I really like this item. And there's a lot of people who really don't like this item. And I'm not sure exactly why, because there's so many different ways to use this item. This is the Grenade Soap Co. Tactical Toothbrush. And it's more than just a toothbrush, okay? Basically, it's a big handle, but there's a reason why it's a big handle. This part slides off like so. Inside, you have a storage area for a toothbrush. The toothbrush clips into this little area right here, which is compatible with Klecker Stowaway tools. That fell off. Basically, it clips on right there. You slide this metal slide back on, and you have a toothbrush. The brush head is made of charcoal bristles, so they should last a little bit longer and not have like germs and bacteria build up on them as easily. I haven't used this yet, but I think it's gonna work well. It's kind of a bulky handle, but like I said before, there's a reason for that. The toothbrush head stores inside of the handle, and there's also a small storage area for toothpaste tablets, and these are not on the market yet. They're being developed. They're almost done with those from my understanding, but there's a little area to store those, and then you can store your toothbrush here. The handle is vented so that your toothbrush, you know, can kind of dry out a little bit. I personally would dry it before I stored it. You could use your towel right here to do that task. The handle also has a glass breaker built in, which I don't know if I'm really a big fan of that, but I mean, it's not hard to build in a glass breaker, so why not put it on? And it also has an edge that's used to strike a ferro rod for sparks, okay? So multi-purpose. It gets better though. What you can do is you can go ahead and get some Klecker Stowaway tools, and I have a few right here. It has a holder, a nice holder for these tools. Here's one of them, and these are scissors, which would make sense in a hygiene kit. To me, it would make sense to have scissors so that I can clean up my, beard flyers, trim those up, trim up some of my nose hairs. I don't know if I could get into my nose to trim up nose hairs with this, but you could definitely clip some things with these scissors. They look like they're pretty high quality. I'm a big fan of Klecker in general, so when I saw these stowaway tools, I was really stoked about them. I'm gonna be getting a bunch of these, and I'll do a separate video on stowaway tools and Klecker and different ways that you can carry these and use these. I'm probably gonna go spend like 150 bucks on this stuff, but hey, it's all for the greater good, right? So there's a wide variety of tools that you could stow in here. You stow your toothbrush, of course, but then you have spots for 3 extra tools. You can get a beard comb, you can get tweezers, you could get the scissors, you can get a knife. I have a wrench here, which is pretty cool. And I also have a ballpoint pen. This is a ballpoint pen stowaway tool. And I've got plans for this one in the future. This just gives you an example of the different things that you could do with this toothbrush. So for me personally, this is something that's gonna go into my bug out bag for hygiene purposes. I don't put crappy quality stuff in my bug out bag because if I ever have a situation where I need to use it, I want the highest quality of stuff in that bag because I know my life and probably the life of my loved ones will be on the line, okay? Will I ever have to use it? Odds are I probably won't. But if I do have to use my bug out bag for that intended purpose, I want good high quality gear in there. And I see this with some additional stowaway tools as being an all-in-one unit, okay, for my hygiene. I'll have tweezers, I'll have a beard comb, and I'll probably have 1 or 2 other items that are hygiene related so that I can use them with this tool. I think that this tool is pretty awesome. And if you're not a fan of using this as a toothbrush, this tool can also be used as like a gun maintenance kit with the toothbrush head as a bristle cleaner. You could get screwdriver attachments. You can get all sorts of stuff that are applicable to gun maintenance. So don't discount this. I know a lot of people weren't thrilled with this item. Don't discount it. It is a good item. The value on this is $44.99. And I know that may seem a little bit high. Would I go pay that on my own? Probably not. But am I gonna bitch about it being in my BattlBox? No. I'm happy that it's in my BattlBox because I get that buying power that is associated with BattlBox, so it really doesn't cost me $44. Pretty stoked about this item, folks. And I will be buying some more stowaway tools and a couple other ways to use those stowaway tools, because I have become an instant fan of the Klecker Stowaway tools, primarily because of this toothbrush. This is your only item in the advanced box, and some folks might not like that. So let's move on to the Pro box. This is probably the most hated item in the box, I guess you'd call it. This is a product from 6 Shooter Shaving, and it is a razor. So this razor uses like the Gillette Mach 3 style head, and I hear that Venus, like the ones for the ladies, I don't know what style of Venus, but I've heard that those work. They clip in, pop out, just like the Gillette Mach 3s or 4s or whatever. So the razor looks like a bird cage or a muzzle brake, I guess you'd call it, flash hider, whatever, for an AR-15. So it's pretty heavy duty, fits good in the hand, and beyond that, it's a razor. So what's got a lot of people burnt up about this is it is valued at $49. So I understand where you're burned up about this. It feels nice in the hand, I gotta say. From what I've read on the BattlBox forums, pretty much everybody who didn't like this gave it to their wife or girlfriend, and their wife and girlfriend loved this thing because it's a fatter handle and they can grip it really well when they're in the shower, okay? Will I use this? Well, I don't think so. Unless I'm shaving a different part of my body. I don't shave my face, right? You can kind of tell. I clean up down here once in a while and here. So maybe I'll use it. I'll definitely keep it, because will I have a beard for the rest of my life? That's highly unlikely. For those of you that are disappointed though, I feel ya. I get it. I understand. To me, this is a lot like this, right? It's kind of like just kind of a marketing thing. I hate to use the word gimmicky, but I guess that's kind of what it is. Is it worth that much money? I have no clue. It looks like it's really well built. It's got a good design. You know, it's not a piece of junk that's just gonna fall apart on you. It's really sturdy. So for some of you are gonna love this item. Some of you are gonna hate it. And me, I'm kind of indifferent about it. If I shaved frequently, maybe I'd love it. I don't know. For this one, I'm not like mad that it's in the box. I'm not super excited about it. And to each their own. And that's where I'm gonna leave it. Next up, an item that I am really excited about, and I haven't even taken it out of the bag yet, just to look at it. I try to keep things fresh so that you see my initial impressions of things most of the time. This is the Grenade Soap Co. Dopp/ammo bag. And you know what? Like, I've heard that this thing is really well made. And they weren't kidding. This thing is pretty dang well made. It's big for a toiletry bag, but something like this could probably be used as like a gym bag. You know, you could fit a pair of spare clothes in there, plus all of your toiletry needs, like your deodorant, maybe a different size deodorant, but like a toothbrush, a shaver, electric shaver, a razor, different hygiene essentials, contact solution contacts, that's me, a pair of spare glasses. You could fit it definitely all in here, or you could use this as like a range bag. It's got lots of inner pockets to keep things nice and separated and out of the main storage compartment. It's got some outside pockets as well, and really heavy duty handles, mesh pockets on the side, and then some compartmentalized storage here. And the same goes for the other side. You could probably use this as a tool bag for small tools if you're a wrencher, or, if you're an electrician, something like that. Keeping, some of your tools in here, very doable. The bottom is a nice firm bottom that's solid, really solid construction. So this is another item from Grenade Soap Co. And I just want to point out that their mission, part of their proceeds go to support U.S. military veterans and veteran causes. So that's something that I'm a big fan of. And I'm not somebody that just says that shit. I put my money where my mouth is. A good portion of my annual income, not like a huge portion, I'm not independently wealthy as we've discussed before, but a percentage of my annual income goes to support veteran causes as well. It's something that I believe passionately in. So that's something that personally I can get behind, a company that donates a portion of their revenue, their profits to veteran causes. It's one of the reasons why I love Black Rifle Coffee Company. They state it right on their coffee bags. A portion of their income goes to support Second Amendment causes. That's gonna, make me want to go spend my money with them over Pete's or Starbucks or Seattle's Best to get the, coffee beans. You know what I mean? And I like their coffee. Why not, right? So the long and the short of it, this bag is valued at $30, $29.99, and I think this is probably an undervalued item. I think that this could sell for more, personally. So I think this is a great value in your pro subscription level. I like it. I really like this. I'm gonna find 10 ways to Sunday to use this damn thing, and I'll probably argue with myself in my head how to use it. So that's that. The last item in your pro subscription is another thing from Grenade Soap Company, the Tactical Beard Oil, the Brute Beard. So from live streams that BattlBox hosted, they made it kind of clear that Current 1776 helped in the development of this, and I've used it. I used it a couple days ago. There are a few things that I really like about it. I like that it has the dropper, okay? So with the dropper, I can just drop it right into the inner part of my beard where my skin is. I mean, this is not thin, there's a lot to it. So you can just squeeze it right into here and then just rub it into your beard. It smells great. This is a very good smelling beard oil. Beard oils are a good thing to have if you're a bearded person. You can use them if you're not a bearded person as well, and I'll get to that a little bit. If you have a beard, you know that your skin has a tendency to dry out where your beard is, especially if you're in that phase, the itchy phase, I like to call it. It's a really uncomfortable phase. Beard oil will help soften your hair, which your girlfriend will love. It'll also help make your hair smell better, which again, your girlfriend's gonna love that. Your girlfriend, your wife, whatever. You go walking up with kind of like your man stench or whatever that's on your face from sweating all day long after working your ass off. You go give your wife or your girlfriend a kiss. If you have some beard oil on, that kiss is gonna make your beard feel softer, and it's gonna smell a million times better, okay? You don't wanna apply too much. You don't want it to be, slick back hair type oily, but you do want it to be soft. You want it to feel good, you want it to smell good, and you want those oils to help rehydrate your skin underneath your beard. We kind of talked about that in the live stream that I just had with Sly Fox Tactical and Beer Bourbon Bushcraft. Beard oils are a good thing. I've used a lot of different types of beard oils, and so far I really like this one. I like the smell of it. I will probably use this, possibly reorder a couple different types. If they have different types, I don't know, but possibly reorder a few different types. That is your Pro box. With the exception of the razor, I am a big fan of the Pro. That Dopp bag I think is awesome. Excellent value right there. I'm also a big fan of the beard oil. And if you don't have a beard, you can use this for moisturizing purposes for your hands, Don't want to put too much on because you don't want your hands to feel too oily. I tend to stay away from lotion and that type of stuff because I just don't like that greasy feel on my hands. But you know, you can put the stuff in your hair, in your scalp, you know, massage it into your scalp, that type of thing. So before you knock it, try it out, use it a couple different ways, and you might actually appreciate it. Okay, so now for the last item for you Pro Plus members, the knife of the month. And this is a pretty interesting knife. This was a limited run. 6,000 were made for BattlBox subscribers only. That, my friends, is pretty awesome. Each knife is serialized, so you have a number. Mine is, well, let me check. Mine is 4,259 out of 6,000, okay? That's really cool. So this is a pretty small knife. A lot different than last month's knife. This is a small one, but it's an interesting knife. One of the things that makes it interesting is it's got a copper handle. I personally have never seen a knife with a copper handle. As somebody who has kind of an artistic flair to me, I can really appreciate the copper handle. I think it's sweet. This is a friction folder, so it does not lock. It is ultra sharp. It's got a really cool blade shape to it that's kind of reminiscent of a straight razor in a way. It's pretty sweet and it's super sharp. The steel is made of D2 tool steel, so you're getting some pretty high quality materials out of this, and it is from Browse Blades. It comes in this really cool carrying case, a nice protective carrying case. It also comes with a tool for adjusting the knife if you need to adjust the pivot, like the tension on it, which, you know, something to keep in mind. This is called the Mini Kami from Browse Blades. And Browse is one of those knife makers that does a lot of limited run knives. A lot of their knives cost anywhere from $200 to $400. They do some great stuff. This is my first Browse Blades. Will it be my last? No. I'm gonna probably pick one up sometime in the future because their knives are really cool and they are collector pieces. They do a lot of limited runs. And this one is no exception. I really like the fact that they are serialized. To me, this makes this knife really a collector's piece. I've been carrying this knife the last few days. I've been doing a wide variety of things with it, mainly opening boxes and packages. But this is a good knife for what it is. It's not beefy like the Bastion Brazza. It's not a fixed blade knife like a lot of bushcraft knives are. But still, it's not bad. A lot of people are knocking this knife because it's small. A few areas where I see this knife really fitting in is anybody that has to wear a business suit. If you wear that style of pants that, you know, comes with a full suit, a big heavy knife in your pocket really sags your pants, you know what I'm saying? Like the Bastion Brazza wouldn't go well in dress pants. Just not gonna work because it's so heavy. Something like this, really lightweight, compact, small knife, will work in dress pants. You're not even gonna notice it's there. I've been wearing these in my jeans and I mean, it just sits in that pocket. You can barely feel the darn thing. This also serves as a certificate of authenticity, which if you're a knife collector is actually really important. Something like this increases the value of the knife. While we're on the knife, the value of this is $119.99, so $120. For a Browse blade, I think that that's pretty reasonable. Now, for those of you that are strictly tactical survival guys, you probably don't see the value of this, and I get it, I understand. Like I said at the very beginning of the video, I understand where a lot of guys are coming from when they're saying they're not super excited about this box as a whole because it lacks some of that tactical element, okay? But tactical is kind of what you make of it. Could you defend yourself with this? Yes. Is it ideal? No. It's just not, because it's small. Is it going to stay sharp? Yes. It's D2 steel. Is it sharp as hell out of the box? Yeah. I mean, this thing is super sharp. I can shave with it. In a pinch, you could shave your face with this. It's not going to be the same as a straight razor, which a lot of folks, from what I can tell, were hoping for a good quality straight razor. The last box that did a Dopp Kit put a straight razor in, and honestly, I've never used it. So I'm glad that this wasn't a straight razor, personally. Is this my favorite knife from BattlBox? No, absolutely not. It's not my favorite knife. For me, this is a collector's item. This is not an item that's going to be carried often. If I'm going to a wedding, if I'm dressed up for an event where I have to wear a suit, you know what? I could totally see this being in my pocket versus other knives that I own, just because it's kind of cool. It's got that copper handle, really cool, elegant gentleman feel to the knife. But for now, it's going back in my safe, and the Bastion Brazza is going back in my pocket. Okay, so overall, this isn't my favorite box that I've received from BattlBox. I see value in it. I see some items that I have been exposed to that I would not have otherwise known about. The Epic wipes, for one. The Easy towels, that's two. This, I forget what it's called. Enrit towel, which I think is great for backpacking. The Coleman soap that I'm not sure how I never knew about this before, but I never knew about it before. Really cool product. I'm a fan of the Grenade Soap Co. Beard oil. So most of those items are actually from the basic box. And in my opinion, if you got the basic box, you did really good this month. There were a ton of items in there. I also feel like there were some pretty cool, kind of innovative items in this box. The toothbrush, the tactical toothbrush from Grenade Soap Co. I think has some pretty cool innovative things about it, mostly due to the Klecker Stowaway tools, which I have now become an instant fan of. The brass blades is what it is to me. It is a gentleman's knife, a friction folder that is going to be a collector's item, and I'm going to treat it as such. I will use it rarely, just so I can keep it in good condition. So it's going to go in my safe. So overall, $150 box. When you have the Pro Plus, they say a $333 value, and while some of this I feel might be a little bit high on the value line, overall I think it's there. Is it my favorite box? No, it's not. Do I think BattlBox did a pretty decent job on a Dopp Kit, which is just extremely hard to do? Yes, I do. I mean, just this alone, this bag, which has multiple uses written all over it, was a win. All right, so if you hate this video, go ahead and click that thumbs down button. If you liked it, man, click that thumbs up. I'm gonna need all the help I can get. I really appreciate it when you guys hit that thumbs up button. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. You know, I try to be as unbiased as possible when I do these unboxings to give you my honest opinion of what I think of these boxes. I respect that you guys are gonna have different opinions. I respect that everybody comes from a different point of view when they're looking at these. But if you're one of those folks that said, oh, that box is a piece of shit, I'm canceling, then I really question your judgment, and I don't think you've been around that long. BattlBox, in my opinion, is the most consistent subscription box out on the market right now. You know, they might have a box that you don't like 1 out of every 4 or 5, but overall, BattlBox kills it. All right, that's enough for me. I'm just gonna shut up now. I'm gonna drink some more bourbon. I'm gonna go make some dinner, and I'm gonna get to editing this. Thank you guys for watching, and thank you for getting Out West with Chris.